Chuck Norris, amazing guy. I first saw him in 1964 competing, and I was very impressed because Chuck was very intense, very precise, and really was ahead of the crowd. So I was there in 1965 when he won his first title, and he beat a guy named Ron Machini. And it was not only he cleaned out everybody all day long. Ron Machini was an excellent martial artist. He was a traditional Japanese stylist. So Ron beat everybody pretty much as cleanly as Chuck did. So I expected a really exciting fight, and we did. But as soon as they bowed in, Chuck threw the first spinning back kick I'd ever seen. Bap! Put it right on Ron's chin, and he won the championships. And I was so impressed, and it was a close fight, but that spinning back kick won it for Chuck. So I went down to introduce myself, and I just found him charming. Found out that his mother was Irish, his father was Cherokee Indian, full-blooded Indian, and yet he was a blonde, green-eyed guy. Now he had two brothers, younger brothers. They were dark hair, dark eyes, looked a lot more Indian. But Chuck more got the Irish side. But a charming, brilliant, kind, wonderful man. And we became really great friends, and ultimately, a couple years later, I had a partnership with a guy named Joe Lewis in a school in Sherman Oaks. And I went to Chuck to sell out Joe's and my interest in the school. And Chuck said, no, I don't want to buy the school. I want to buy you. He says, I want you to become my partner. He says, I'll buy Joe's half and you and I become partners. So we did. And we quickly developed a great relationship because of non-egotism. Chuck was very intense, but never narcissistic, never egotistical. Now, if you said, I can beat you at, fill in the blanks, tiddlywinks, basketball, martial arts, you had just bought the farm. Very intense, but very kind and very by the rules kind of a gentleman. But because we had this relationship where he quickly realized I was the better businessman, and I quickly realized he was the better martial artist. And so we basically, we never had a contract in all the years. We built a huge chain of martial arts schools, but he ran the instruction. He loved the PR. I ran the business. I signed the checks. I hired, I fired, and so on and so forth. So we had a great partnership. I really like a great marriage because we had so much respect for each other and no egotism about who was better at what. And never worry about outworking Chuck Norris at anything. He was then and is today, 46 years later, a wonderful, charming, hardworking, you get what you see kind of guy. And I just love him. I enjoyed it. I worked out with Chuck Norris, I'm sure, more than any other black belt on earth, by far. And everybody says, why? You know, you never missed a workout with Chuck Norris. And I said, would you miss a painting lesson from Picasso? Chuck was a real genius about martial arts in that era. Middleweight champion for several years, undefeated. And he was just an amazing guy, a terrific guy. I've been so blessed with the people I've known. And Chuck Norris is one of my best blessings. Christian man, good man, kind man, tough man, and a fun guy to be with. So he's part of my formula. And of course, he's a Pisces. I'm a Leo. My wife is a Pisces. I've been married 43 years now to the lovely Lillian, whom I adore. And Lillian and Carlos is Chuck's real name. They're really close, very similar kind of people. But he's been an amazing blessing in my life, and he's taught me a lot. He's a great example as a great American, a great human being, and a phenomenal martial artist.